Hi, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a campaign using the lead objective. It's extremely valuable for any business to build up their own list to market to. Such are the restrictions now on tracking and our ability to retarget. Harnessing your own list is an important activity to build into your marketing strategy. So what might entice an email address out of someone? So think about your perfect customer. Think about what might attract their attention. A lead magnet that might work for your business might be a handy checklist or a guide, a piece of valuable research, a code for a discount off a product, maybe the promise of being the first to know if you're approaching a launch. So here at Maybe, we have developed a handy content calendar. Well, we think it's really handy. It includes month by month all the hashtag days across the year, which could fuel ideas for your content calendar. I'm going to use it as an example to show you how to set up an in-app lead gen ad. So here I am in my ads manager, and I'm just going to click on create to get started. Remember, you're going to be in your business manager to do this, so you need to be in the URL that is business.facebook.com/ads manager. So by clicking create, it'll bring you up this window where you choose the objective for your campaign. So I'm going to choose lead. Continue. And here I'm just going to give it an appropriate name. So we're going to call this, and I've got something already there, Content Calendar Facebook Lead Gen. So I'm going to scroll through these sections here because they're not relevant to change. You want to make sure that your campaign details look correct there. It's on objective lead, so that's looking good. I'm not going to apply my budget here at the campaign level. I'm only going to have one ad set for this campaign anyway, so I'm just going to apply it at the next level down. But if you did want to run out a test of your lead campaign against multiple different audiences, therefore different ad sets, maybe a multiple range of ads to attract people, you could set your budget at advantage campaign budget and hand over the reins to Facebook so that they spend your budget where they see the results. I'm going to leave it toggled off here and click next. So I'm now down at the mid layer here in the hierarchy of building out an ad. I'm setting our audiences at this level. So I'm going to bring in a name just for demonstration purposes. I have got a audience preset, pre-built in the background. Remember, you can find videos in our hub that talk you through how to build out audiences. So I've got it already there in list, and I'm just going to bring it in. We're going to go out to target people who are admins on a Facebook page and a business page within Facebook. So those are people who've got a page to manage. They're going to be trying to work out what content to put on their pages. A handy sort of content calendar may be of interest to them, and they'd be the right kind of person to bring into the Maybe world. So that seems a good audience to test. It's nice and large at around 8 million here. So it's a lovely big pool for Facebook to fish for people to be taking action on this ad. So here it will automatically drop into the instant forms as you chose the lead objective, but just check that you've got it toggled correctly there. I'm going to scroll on down, and I'm going to make sure I've got the right page set. So it has actually dropped off the right page there. So toggle it back on. If you've got a number of pages you're attached to, this will always happen. So double check. Now, if you've never run a lead ad before, then this will be a little window where it's asking you to accept Facebook's terms. So of course, when we're dealing with people's data, there are privacy rules, and by accepting the terms and conditions, Facebook can crack on with what they need to do. So we scroll on through here. We're not going to work with dynamic creative. I'm not interested in a catalogue. That's really only relevant if you are an e-commerce business. I'm going to just make sure I've got the right budget set. So obviously that depends on how much money you've got to spend. You can either set a daily budget or you can click lifetime budget and set and forget a certain amount that you have to spend on your campaign. So I'm going to scroll on down and we're going to bring in that audience that I mentioned before. It's a saved audience. So we want to toggle it here, and every saved audience that I have already created will show in the list here. So I'm going to find my, there's the one, page admins and business page admins, and it's up around the 8 million mark. So that's the right one I want. I built it so that it targeted a sort of 27 age group upwards across the United Kingdom. Right, so we now move on down to placements, and wherever you see the word advantage used within your ads manager setup, it's essentially saying Facebook will be taking control of that aspect of the campaign. So here, Facebook are saying, we'll do it for you. We'll choose the right placements where we're seeing performance. We'll optimize accordingly. If you were wanting to only serve out an example, for example, in the feed or in stories or reels, or you felt you only really resonate on Instagram versus Facebook, you can toggle on manual placements and start to toggle off what you don't want to use as a placement for your campaign. For this example, I'm just going to stick with advantage placement, and more often than not, I would be recommending that. Facebook is pretty good at getting it right there now. So I'm going to scroll on down. I have my optimization set here for leads. That's bang on what I want. And it will start to give you a feel here over on the right-hand side for the kind of estimated daily results you might see. So take those with a bit of a pinch of salt, to be honest. But if it says 0, there might be something you need to look at, and it would potentially be the size of your audience that you've plugged in. Forgive me. So I'm going to click next, and we're going to be getting into the detail here at the ad level. This is where it gets just a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to give my ad a name. We're going to call it a content calendar. And I'm going to make sure again that the page is the right one. I've got my Instagram account connected, and we're now going to create an ad. So I've got toggled on here, and this will be preset, single image or video. So if you were a retail business or you had a story to tell, you might want to look at the carousel, but make the decision that's right for your campaign. So I'm going to scroll on through here, and this is a little bit of a weird nuance. It tends to pre-populate here with the page sort of image that you use on your feed. I think you have to kind of delete that out, which will allow you to start again. Now, I'm going to add a video in that I've got ready, prepared in the background. I'll show you what it is. It kind of brings to life the calendar a little bit visually. And I think had I been a bit more organized, I would have prepared a version of this graphic that was optimized for this 9:16 placement here. You can easily size things in a tool like Canva. It's worth doing. So optimize your sizing for particularly the story. It's not so important here on this one, the search results and instant articles, but definitely for stories and reels, create one that fits the full size there. And you just click replace, grab something in, and I can probably just grab that one in for demonstration purposes. You see how that'll fill the whole size, but that's a totally different topic, so don't look at that. And then click next. And then that's going to think about that for a moment. It might ask you if you want to attach advantage creative. So here's another one where Facebook's saying, do you want us to optimize how we see fit? I've got that toggled on. and it's one just to test. Some people are reporting some strange ways in which it shows itself in different placements, but on the whole, I think it's pretty good. Let's click done. That's going to confuse me, but we'll leave it there for now. We won't go toggle that closed. Right, so here we are. So I've brought in my creative and I just need to add in some text here. So I have some copy ready to go. So let me just copy and paste that in. There's a few little edits that I want to do. Not just January, I want it to be in 2023. And I'm going to put a little emoji in here just to sort of help with the visual impact of the ad within the scroll. Scratching your head for content ideas. Don't worry, we've got you. Our social media calendar tells you the hot topics to engage with in 2023. So hopefully that'll entice some interest. Let's put a headline here. Get your content calendar for 2023. And I'm going to edit that button so it's not sign up, but we're going to put download because people will be able to access it pretty much straight away. It'll get emailed to them. So that seems about appropriate. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. So what you have to do is create a forms. So it's a separate entity asset that you will create and it will sit in the list here. It's independent of the ad itself. So you could be going up in to make a different ad later on and wanting to bring in a form, and you would have the same list available to you. So you can use forms in multiple ads. So I have got some here ready prepared, but I'm going to create it from scratch just to help you see how it's done. So here we are in the create form widget. I'm going to give it a name of a demo form. And I'm going to choose volume here. If you were to toggle on high intent, it would create that kind of verification step where it would ask people to confirm it's their information. You know, Facebook and Instagram have pre-populated form widgets, which make it super easy to kind of sign up to things. It kind of asks, do you want to use this name and email? And you say yes, and in it goes and you're off. So if that, often that means it's so easy, it's almost like people almost do it accidentally without thinking about it. Higher intent, if you toggled that on, would introduce a second step, which would be quite quick to do, but it would interrupt people's thinking and make them sort of pause for thought. Do I want to sign up for this? So it could kind of potentially uplift your quality, but it would potentially downlift your volume. So have a think about that for what you want to do. So I'm going to keep it on more volume. I'm going to go into my intro section next, and it's asking you to upload an image, which will sit here as a kind of background image. So they've recommended the kind of optimizations to sit nicely. Now, this isn't absolutely perfect, to be honest, because I think the Valentine's Day is going to sit hidden behind the little bar there, but make one that's really just going to be lovely to encourage people to keep on going through this form. So let's put a headline in saying your 2023 content calendar is here. And then we're going to put a little paragraph in here just to encourage people through. Download our content calendar, which includes a full year of hashtag days to fuel your strategy. Now that's rather on the fly, but that will do for demonstration. And then we're going to drop down to the next step. And we're going to make sure we've got the fields in here that we want to capture. So to keep it really simple, I would recommend just email address and probably their name as well. You don't have to take their full name, so you could turn that off, and then add just their first name, which is kind of a little bit more personal. And if you were going to do clever things like personalize your emails going forward, you would be able to pop in their first name. So you can add much more though, but remember, the more that you ask people, the less likely they're going to follow through. But if it's pertinent to you to get certain things like, gender demographic information like this here, or phone number, for example, if you are going to be offering a callback, take a look at what you need for your form. So I'm happy with that. And now we're going to add in our privacy details. Now, Facebook will put in their privacy details anyway, but you need to add in yours. So let's call this our, that's the link. So we're going to grab the URL off our website. So typically for any business website, you have to have your privacy link policy here in the footer. So you just want to open that up, grab the URL, dive back in, pop it here, and then you can call it our privacy policy. Okay, so that's showing there quite neatly, and then we've got to toggle down onto the completion. So what do we want it to say once they've handed over their email address? So I'm going to say, we will email you your calendar in the next few minutes. So they know it's on its way. Let's spell calendar correctly. Right, so, and then you have the, now just for a moment, I'm just going to say, we're emailing the calendar, but what you could do, if you were a retailer, for example, you could then confirm a discount code in the copy here. So you can entice people in on the basis that they get 10, 20% off a particular product or for a particular period. And once they've handed over their email address, this confirmation page could be that code so that they've got it. And then you could just say, we'll also email it to you, because obviously people's attention spans, they might not save it away. So I'm going to just say we'll email it you your calendar in the next few minutes. And then we've got this call to action button here at the bottom, so don't waste that. We're going to keep it as view website, but we're going to change the call to action and call it start planning your content. So you see how that copy is written over the button there, and then we can add a link to sign up to Maybe. So I do have a specific link to do that. Let me just bear with me. Here we go. Grab that. I'm just going to take them to the Maybe page, but there is, make that appropriate to where you want to take people, basically. It might be to explore your products, choose what's right for you. So we've got that in and we've got that button. So now that form is created. I just click publish. Oops, I need something. Yeah, I know what this is. So you have to enter in an explanation of why, the safety of their data. So I'm going to say, we will use your details to send you your calendar and our regular newsletters. So you just need to caveat what you're going to use the details for. So I think that should be all good now, and that's going to go away and publish. So we have now created that form, and it's toggled on. And we just want to scroll on down the setup now and make sure that you've got your pixel selected, and so that any kind of activity off the back of this ad is going to get tracked. And then we're all good to go, and you're just going to click publish. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I hope that's been a useful walkthrough. I'm just going to click close. And those leads are going to crop up in your lead center. So you will get an email for every email that's captured. You'll get an email into your inbox, and you will be able to access your lead center. And from that lead center, you will be able to either download the data to send them an email separately, or if you have some of those main CRM type tools like ActiveCampaign or HubSpot, you can actually integrate Facebook. So you'll be able to trigger an email out to people automatically. But if that's a stretch, then it can be just a manual download of your leads from the lead center in Facebook and activate an email separately. So I hope that's been a helpful guide through building a lead gen ad. As always, pop into Maybe and click on the blue button if you've got any questions, or join us on our regular sessions on a Thursday and Friday when we talk all things ads.